Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my final flip through of my 2020 planner stack, and I'm going to be flipping through my AmandaRachLee Doodle planner. I can't remember what color this was, but it's this super pretty neutral. It has the year 2020 in it. And I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much, because my initial flip through of this planner was my most watched video of last year, or like ever. You guys seem to really enjoy seeing this planner. I'm going to preface this video by saying I enjoyed this planner for 2020. I have switched gears for how I'm going to be doing my journaling for 2021, so I did not repurchase this planner, but I would recommend it to anyone. I loved using it for what I had going on in my life at the time. Unfortunately, it's just not what I'm wanting. I used it for a full year. I'm ready to move on to something else, especially since I didn't use this in its full entirety, and I'll show you the parts that I did and didn't use, but I will go through this. I'm not going to flip through every single spread, because once you see the first week of the month, the rest of them look exactly the same, because I use this as a journal. It literally is just splashes of color and writing. That is it. So it's nothing super special, but I hope you enjoy seeing a flip through nonetheless. Alright, let's get into this. So I wrote my name in the planner. That's the first step, right? Writing your name in the planner. I could have definitely colored so much more in this planner than I did, and I don't know, I just had, I guess maybe I should tell you, if you didn't know, I was pregnant in 2020 and I had my son in August. So the majority of the year, well actually like the entire year, I was pregnant, and I also was figuring out how to be a mom. So I didn't have a ton, and I still don't have a ton of extra time. So I didn't touch on my 2019 reflections or my 2020 goals, but I really think that some of this stuff is important to have in a planner. I like that you have a place to reflect back on that. I think I had every intention on going back and doing that, and I just didn't. And then things to check out, I didn't put anything there either, but I definitely could have put books or podcasts or TV shows, anything like that, websites. There's some dot grid pages here, and then we get into January. So each month has a different theme. So if you saw my video of my original flip through, you'll know what the themes are already. But I try to keep things very simple. I tried using the monthly overview as like a meal plan idea, so that I could go back and see like, oh yeah, I've made English muffin pizzas. That's a good easy dinner choice. I don't think I did it more than January, and clearly I didn't even do January. So this is the part that I really truly enjoyed about this planner, that and the journaling. But I loved having the habit tracker and the mood tracker. First of all, it's aesthetically pleasing. Second of all, I do think that it helped. I think, as you'll see, starting with January and then going on through the year, how I feel like I did do better on some of my habits. There's a lot of things like yoga I just didn't do a whole lot of. Again, I was pregnant, I was doing my prenatal workout, and that was about all I could handle. I had no coffee in there for a bit because I was trying to really cut back on caffeine because of being pregnant. But I do enjoy seeing this spread. And then I tried to use this initially, and then it just, it was just one extra thing that I didn't keep up with. But I used it as my overall goals, and then my faves down here, I did TV, streaming show, podcasts or songs, food and drinks, books read. So yeah, let's go into the weekly spread here. So this is essentially what every single week in the month of January looks like. Like I said, it was a journal. I journaled and added pops of color. I up here tracked what was going on in that week of my pregnancy, and then I think later on in the year I just kind of put some highlights of what Jensen was doing. Jensen's my son. But yeah, so I just added pops of color. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I loved how everything went and turned out. So let's go ahead and go to February. So I started coloring these and I was like, holy cow, there's so many. Watercoloring this page would have been amazing. I didn't watercolor anything in this planner, but I wish that I had thought to do it. It just, again, so much to keep up with in 2020. And honestly, I was pretty nauseous up until about week 15 of my pregnancy, so I was just barely surviving. But going into this, I colored it and then I did nothing with it. Not super in love with the color choices that I had for this month, but can't change it now, can we? Here's my habit tracker and my mood tracker. It is kind of nice to go back and look at, like, I had quite a few pretty decently happy days, neutral to happy, so that's positive. And then I wrote this out and then didn't use it. Here's my weekly. But yeah, looking back now, I do kind of wish that I had taken the time to color it in, but it would have looked so pretty with a pale pink, but you would not believe that I don't have a pale pink marker. Out of everything that I own, I could not find a pale pink marker. So let's go on to March. Oh yeah, so here's another time where I gave up coloring because I was lazy. And I started realizing that like rough coloring was going to work better for me. Alright, how cool does this look? I love all of the greens. Oh, so beautiful. Look, okay, so I'm like starting to pick up on some of my exercise. Also, this would have been the month that like we just never went back to work. So I was able to focus. You can tell towards the end of the month I was able to focus a little bit more on some things that I hadn't been able to focus on. Alright, so yep, that is what the weeks in March looked like. Ooh, I forgot that I did this rainbow, and I'm so glad. I use like the primary colors of rainbow, not like pastels. I use bright, bold colors, and I love it. Look how cute that looks. This is making my heart happy going back and looking at these. I kind of forgot what some of the month themes were. Here's what the weeks in April look like. Alright, moving on to May. A little sunflower themed, which is perfect living in Kansas. I don't dislike these colors that I picked. I actually quite like them. Definitely feel like that early summer vibe. Look at me killing it, killing it, killing it. Alright, and this is what the weeks in May look like. Moving on to June. Was a super cute boba themed. Love me some good boba. The habit trackers. Like overall, June looked good. Like habit tracker wise. Here's what the weeks in June looked like. Alright, moving on to July. Yeah, July. Oh, I missed this page. Here you go, July. I feel like this was meant to be lavender, but I had just done purple for the boba, so I changed it to blue. I think blue bonnets are a thing, but I don't think they look like this. I have zero idea. I just was feeling blue. I don't know why, but it's super pretty, all the different shades of blue. And here is what the weeks in July looked like. Going on to August, which is the month that Jensen was born. Highlight of the year for sure. I just didn't have the right colors for this. I wish that I had a little bit more variety, but it turned out cute in the end. with the more orange colors, I think, poking through more than anything. And here's what the weeks look like in August, going into September. And then here is what the weeks in September look like. Going on to October. This one killed me. This is where I wish I had done some watercoloring. Alright, and here's what the weeks look like in October. Alright, going on to November. This is the one month out of everything that I wish I had picked different colors. I let my husband choose because I couldn't choose a color theme, so he went with like the traditional Thanksgiving colors, and it's just not what I wanted. But here is what the weeks look like in November. And then on to December. I chose not to color this one either because I saw some really amazing things that people were doing with this on Instagram, and this was just so much. I still added the pops of color in the weekly section. I just didn't do the color throughout, I guess. Like coloring the backgrounds of the buildings. And here is what the weeks in December look like. And that is pretty much it. At the end of the planner, you have some dot grid pages where I kind of was pre-planning out some of my months with the colors that I was going to choose. You actually have quite a bit of dot grid pages here. And then you have your 2020 reflections in the back. And that is it. You do still have this little pocket, which I think is a really nice concept. I just didn't end up using it for anything. Oh, guys, that is it. So, like I said, it was pretty much a journal. It was just a functional journal for me, but I loved the paper quality. I love the feel of this. This held up super well. I mean, granted, it wasn't going anywhere, but really, like my desk or my coffee table. But it still looks super pretty, and all the corners are still rounded, not dented. So I don't know, I so did enjoy using this planner as my journal last year. I just am using things a little bit differently this year. I'm adding pictures, and I just don't feel like I had enough room to write, so I wanted more per day. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, just thank you so much for watching my original flip through video when I first bought this planner and I was checking it out. But that's it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next year with all of my different flip throughs. Bye, guys.